Our last one on the in-class assignment. So let's go ahead and see whose equation is accurate, and then we'll go forward from there. Okay, so Elena is saying that W, so that tiny little angle right there, plus 148, I totally meant to switch colors there, plus 148 is equal to 180. That means that those two angles, W and 148, are supplementary. That's what she is saying, which also means that she thinks when you put them together, they make a straight line or a straight angle, which conveniently they do. So Elena's equation is good to go. So let us check Diego's though. So getting back to our original. Okay, awesome. Check. All right, Diego says that x plus 90 degrees, so our 90 degrees right there, is equal to 148. So what do you guys think? Because in the last problem we talked about vertical angles, but is this a vertical angle? So 148 right there, is that actually equal to that whole thing? And if you are answering yes to all these little questions I am asking, then you would be correct. So the two lines that we are looking at intersecting to see whether or not these are vertical angles, it's that line right there and this line. So when you have those two lines, you have one set of vertical angles right there, and then your second set of vertical angles is right there. So indeed, the x plus the 90 degrees equals that 180. Alrighty, let me just undo all that coloring so we can actually see the picture again. All right, so both Elena and Diego's equations work. Now, there are different ways you can solve this. You can either solve them both independently or by themselves in order to get the value of W and the value of X. Or you can solve one of them because you have X right there and W right there. Because another thing you could have noticed is that X plus W gets you a right angle because those two angles are supplementary to this 90-degree angle right here. So you can either solve for them both independently or by themselves, or you can solve for one and then use that knowledge to solve for the other. So I'm going to solve them both independently just so everyone gets the lovely practice with one-step equations. So let's go ahead and do Elena's first. And I said W plus 148 equals 180. All right, so this one-step equation has a plus 148 that I need to get rid of. So I'm going to subtract 148 from both sides. Helpful if I actually wrote the right number, you know, only occasionally. Leaves us with a W on the left side. Those two cancel each other out because if you add 148 and then subtract 148, that actually just gets you back to your original number. And that leaves us with a 32 on the right-hand side because 180 minus 148 is 32. All right? So that is our angle measure for W. Now let us use Diego's to find X. So Diego is saying that X plus 90 degrees equals 148. So again, one-step equations, I need to get rid of this plus 90. So I'm going to subtract 90 from both sides. Another way to say it is I need to get rid of that positive 90, so I need to introduce a negative 90 to both sides. These cancel out, because if you add 90 and then subtract 90, you get back right to the same number you started with. And that is going to leave 52. 8 on that right-hand side. So I have solved for W, I have solved for X. Now before I click off from this though, I am going to actually check my work with what I mentioned earlier, how you can add X and W together to get 90 degrees, because those two angles are, when you put them together with this 90-degree angle, they make that 180 degrees. So I am going to check to make sure that those two, when they add together, actually do give me 90 degrees like I want them to. So 58 plus 32, 0, carry the 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, yay, 90. So 90 is not one of the answers that you should be putting down. This was just to check my work to make sure I was accurate. All right, so we have our answers and we are done.